Welcome. Today I'm going to be speaking about social and cultural concerns amongst adolescents, specifically of the impact of social media on adolescent food and eating disorders. Social media has a long history of strong influences, trending from music choices, the brand of shoes, everyone remembers Nikes, and even which soda pop to buy, the debate over Coke or Pepsi. Branding is a highly invested marketing tool. It comes as no surprise that social culture could have impacts upon food choices in adolescence and create complex scenarios that can have effects upon mental health. This current study we're about to explore looked at links between adolescent mental health, such as body image, self-esteem, loneliness, and dietary outcomes. Utilizing quantitative studies between the years of 2019 to 2023, they took 21 different studies and took information about mental health and diet. They used a program called Robbins E to limit the possibility that they would choose studies to review that could have potential bias. This study compared the concept of social media usage and depression, disorder dating symptoms, and body dissatisfaction. And they did find positive correlations with the increased usage of social media and dietary consequences. Understanding the problem in front of us allows an avenue to create policies and interventions. Social media has a unique role in the up-and-coming generations. The role in social media has examples from influencers, equity dynamics, and dietary indications. Facts to back up these statements come from studying adolescents between the ages of 9 to 18 years old. They gathered information on their internet usage. Data from this study shows 9 to 16-year-olds' usage on the internet has doubled since 2010. They're using an average of 167 minutes a day on the internet through social media. Then, when evaluating 15 to 16-year-olds' usage, it doubles upon the younger group's times, which means we're talking about 334 minutes minimum. That's an average a day that they're spending on the internet. Considering this information, cultural influences are going to be widely impactful. The exposure time for adolescents is amongst the majority of their free time outside of school, and perhaps their free time inside of school as well. The platforms that they're mainly using are Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook, and they're becoming the greatest influence upon this age group. And think of this fact that video game time was not included in this. So this is just social media and internet times. Advertising and marketing are a common feature on these sites. Pop-ups are constantly coming up on feeds. In 2018 alone, more than $500 million was spent by advertisers on influence marketing. And what's being influenced are the adolescents. Findings in this study found an association between photo-based social media, which we constantly see on Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook, associations with body dissatisfaction, which this age group is chronically struggling with already. Quantitative evidence was used in this study with no geographic limits. These studies were 21 different studies that explored over 12 different countries. Mental health outcomes were defined by the World Health Organization, and the definition of mental health was applied here. Social media, and in particular influencers, celebrities, were known to impact body image, self-esteem, anxiety, which then proceeded to impact overeating and compulsory behaviors, which also leads to a reduction in exercise and motivating behaviors. None of these are positive outcomes for our adolescents. This study utilized Prisma 2020 checklist and was registered on Prospero. The review of quantitative studies focused on direct association with social media in both adolescent mental health and diet, using adolescents between 10 to 19, and had publicly accessible social media platforms. Dietary outcomes included food consumption patterns, Likert scale questionnaires as direct measurements. Data was extracted and study methods showing results with any effect size and precision estimates, including negative outcomes, were used. A total of 12 countries were included. 6 mental health outcomes were examined, such as body image, anxiety, loneliness, stress, depression, and self-esteem. Social media exposure was looked at from time spent on social media platforms. excessive use of social media, common smartphones used, and types of interactions on social media, and the number of accounts followed or opened. Being aware of how other people's opinions can influence us is important. Social media is many thousands of opinions being shared all at once. Our adolescents are in a vulnerable developmental stage. Understanding the impact social media can have on them is important when considering the obvious influences it has on their population and in creating policies and interventions for the future.